Hello everybody, this is Marty, and this is Sailing Vessel Kudos, a Hans Christian 38T, heavy blue water cruiser, full keel, tipping the scales at 43,000 pounds in cruising trim.
Looks like some fresh snow up on the Olympics. It was 48 here this morning. Pretty good swell coming into here, and that's what I dealt with last night. If the dinghy wouldn't have been on deck, I would have put a stern anchor out to keep the bow into it, but the dinghy on deck, there's not much I can do about it. So, pretty uncomfortable night, rocking and rolling all night. But I'm out of here heading for Neah Bay. Well, got up to a beautiful morning at least. Sun's just coming over this horizon. Cool part, I think, at least in here, there's no fog. When I come up here back in July, I had fog until I got here to Neah Bay. I didn't see land from the time I left the mouth of the Columbia River till I got here. Hopefully today will be different. Unfortunately, I think most of the trip's going to be spent motoring. The sails are ready, but according to the forecast, yesterday was gale force, so you don't want to be out in that if you can help it. But today is winds to 15, which I'll sail in that, but it's supposed to back off to 5 and no more than 5 through tomorrow. So if that's the case, yeah, that's not enough wind to move this old girl. Not enough wind to move really any boat in the ocean, so end up motoring to get home, but I've only got about a 3-day window to do it in, as there's a calm right now, and Friday there starts another storm in. So I either do it now or I wait for the next weather window, and I'm not waiting. I'm ready to go home and start my upgrades. I'm anxious to get that stuff done. It's nice protected waters in the San Juans. It is beautiful scenery. Going up into Canada was fun. Getting north of where I went gets interesting, because then you start fighting all the currents and stuff. But that really limits when and where you can go, because you got to do it when the current's in your favor, unless you got a boat that's fast enough that it doesn't care, which obviously a sailboat, that doesn't work. But anyways, I'm anxious to get out on the ocean and get this show on the road, and it looks like a good choice for time right now, and I think we're going to be good. That guy right there followed me all the way up out to here yesterday. He started clear back at Port Townsend, is where I picked him up on AIS, and he finally passed me about 10 miles south of, or east of here, but he was taking it easy and slow, and I'm thinking he's probably heading south too, I'll bet. Using this weather window to do the same thing, and I see another sailboat out on the horizon out there. Curious to see if he's going the same way too. So anyways, get the anchor pulled up and get out of here. That is Cape Flattery, the most northwestern tip of the continental United States. Neah Bay, where I came from, is back that way, and about 50 miles back there in the sun is Port Townsend and all that. And that is the Pacific Ocean. It looks like there's wind, but there's not. This is chop created from the tide coming in and the wind waves from way back up inside the Straits of Juan de Fuca meeting the ocean. So chart plotter, wind gauge is all over the board and showing most of the time less than 2 knots, which isn't even enough to keep my heavy sails open. So we're motoring along. Nice ocean so far. At least we're technically entering the ocean about now. That's Cape Flattery. See it yet? The navigation buoy's up here somewhere in front of me. And then there's a boat out of there on the horizon that left Neah Bay right before I did. He's heading south too. Sails up, 18 to 20 knots of wind. I'm loving that. And we're off. I seen a whale a little bit ago, but I just got a glimpse of him surfacing and I never seen him again. Unfortunately, they're always so hard to get pictures of. Wind's kind of sporadic. It'll blow 20 and then it'll back off to like 10. The sails start flopping a little bit, but we're cruising. There's Cape Flattery in the background. I've got the preventer up so that way the boom won't fly across the other side of the boat and it's easier on the rigging. Jib's flying, full main and jib. I don't reef to the first point until about 25 knots. This boat's so heavy that even with full jib and main up, it likes it. Yeah, it wants that wind. This boat was definitely designed for heavier weather. And we're cruising along about 6.5 knots. And the engine is off. We are no longer, as my old boss would always say, burning dinosaurs. This is cool. Now, if the wind will just keep up through most of the day, I'd really be impressed. Very cool. This is what I've been wanting. I was hoping I'd have more wind in the San Juans, but it's just not meant to be, I guess. So from here on out, we will be in less protected waters. I always say we, but this boat's part of me. And when I say we, I mean her and I. She takes good care of me. And other than not producing enough power with the solar and wind, she has virtually been flawless through this whole trip, which I'm very, very thankful for. As you can see, the dinghy's up on deck. We don't leave it in the davits for ocean passages. Although today it'd probably be fine, just in case. Nothing can get hurt with it up that way. But yeah, we're cruising right along. Get up here on the foredeck. There's Canada in the background. Vancouver Island. Pretty. Yeah, I was pretty upset. I thought I lost the microphone in the ocean, although that one wasn't doing that well anyways. So I didn't record much more video-wise coming home. Here I am running wing on wing with the whisker pole holding the jib out. The mainsail's off the opposite direction with the preventer holding it there. Sun's going down over the horizon. Nice, beautiful sunset. I stayed up all night, kept going through the night. Moon rose and actually set later in the night, and then here I am coming into the Columbia River, getting onto the Columbia River bar. That's buoy 9, which is right on the bar, the line between the tips of the two jetties. The bar was beautiful, flat. Incoming tide, walked right in, right up the river to Astoria. Good morning. Beautiful, calm morning. Unfortunately, there's a storm coming on, I'm not sure actually what they call this, but Tongue Point, Astoria. There's a bay in here that, 20 feet deep or so. And you're protected from with these islands off the river, so you don't get any of the wave action, or very little from the ships. In the slot I'm in right now, I think I got rolled a little bit last night, just barely once. Anyways, over there is what used to be a Navy base back during World War II and I believe World War I. And it's kind of cool. I'll see if I can find the pictures and add them to the video, but there is some aerial photographs of this area. It was like I said, a Navy base, and they kept, after World War II ended, there was like 200 freighters parked, like rafted up side by side, filling this bay. It's some pretty cool stuff. Some of them went to Korea when Korea started, but a lot of them got scrapped out after that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's kind of the history of the area, but anybody that's transiting the area, this is an awesome place to hang out. Very, very calm. There's no facilities nearby, unfortunately. You got to go clear into Astoria, and there is a big marina there, but I usually choose to anchor here, and I've done it many times, and it's always been a very, very peaceful, quiet, beautiful spot. Anyways, I'm about ready to get underway. I got in from the ocean yesterday, started crossing the bar about 7:30 in the morning on incoming tide. It was 5-foot swell, nice and flat, perfect conditions, sunny. The trip down, I ended up doing 169.9 nautical miles in 26 hours. So for the naysayers that say Hans Christians are slow, I beg to differ. Get a little bit of wind and these old girls get up and boogie. I was clicking off, I was seeing 8 knots once in a while out of 20 knots of wind. Running wing on wing for most of it, so that was cool. Enjoyed the trip. Long day though, I stayed up all night. to get here and get it over with before the next weather system came in. They're actually got warnings on my phone and stuff for high surf advisories and stuff for in the next few days. So anyways, get out of here and